Your attention, please. Welcome to the Harvey Dryden Field for today's doubleheader featuring the Brevard College Tornadoes and your Southern Virginia University Knights. President Denna and the Southern Virginia University staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Also, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and tobacco use is strictly prohibited. Please stay away from the playing area and the dugouts. And go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Michelle Rasmussen.
Dear kind and gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for thy many blessings and all you can bless us and please bless that player for the safe and able to enjoy the birthday and be able to be mindful of you and keep thy spirit with us.
And now for the starters for the Tornadoes. Leading off and playing center field, number 5. Playing third, number 22, Gabby Hooper. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 14, Michaela Morgan. Batting fourth and playing as designated player, number 9, Sarah Barnes. Batting fifth and playing first, number 16, Lauren Mann. Batting sixth and behind the plate, number 26, Serena Rogers. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 4, Carly Queen. Batting eighth and playing second, number 13, Eileen Slayton. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 24, Jasmine Wood. And at flex, and in the circle today for the Tornadoes, number 1, Lindsay Toll. The Tornadoes are coached by head coach Bree Sheeran and assisted by Taylor Hanna, Christy Cobble, and Emily White. And now for the starters for your Knights. Leading off and in the circle today for the Knights, number 8, Ari Primack. Batting second and playing second base, number 20, Dickel Jones. Batting third and playing third base, number 24, Jason Shockway. Batting fourth and playing left field, number 16, Crystal Kemp. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, number 10, Addie Webster. Braylon Guyman. Batting seventh and playing as designated player number 21, Chloe Persinger. Batting eighth and playing first base number 22, Katie Slater. Batting ninth and playing right field for the Knights number 12, Petea Manuleleua. And as the flex for the Knights playing center field number 9, Emily Oldham. The Knights are coached by Tiffany Pendleton and assisted by Rachel Lawson, Kenzie Cox, and Colby Kemp. Now if you will all please rise, remove your caps, and face the flag towards the football field as we honor America with the playing of our nation's national anthem. Good luck to both teams. Let's play ball!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to another edition of Knights Broadcasting, brought to you at the fields, Harvey Dryden Field at Southern Virginia University. Today's doubleheader features the Tornadoes of Brevard College and your Southern Virginia University Knights. My name is Quinn Meyer, and I'm joined by Nate Burden for today's doubleheader. Good to have you here, Nate.
It's great to be here. Looking forward to a great day of softball. Despite the wind, it's going to be a good game.
It's very gusty. Yep, and so Southern Virginia, they're coming off a hard-fought doubleheader yesterday against Pfeiffer, who is the number 12 team in the country. The first game went to extra innings, and unfortunately for the Knights, Pfeiffer was able to pull away in the top of the 8th and come out with a 7-6 victory. And in the second game, the Knights fought hard again, having it tied at the beginning of the 7th inning, but again, Pfeiffer able to pull away with a home run in the top of the 7th. And so it should be interesting to see how the Knights respond. They're going up against a Brevard team who, their coach Bree Sharon was telling me earlier how difficult of a schedule they've had so far. I think they played yesterday against Mary Baldwin, and they'll play today, and then have a 6-hour bus ride home back to Brevard in Western North Carolina to have their senior day on Sunday afternoon. So certainly they might be running on a tired leg, but also the Knights are too. They had a big game against Pfeiffer yesterday, so interesting to see how both teams will respond.
Yeah, both teams definitely coming off of different perspectives. You know, Knights with a heartbreak yesterday, and Brevard just, you know, like you said, running on fumes. So we'll see what both teams can do. And it's gonna be a great day.
And it looks like the Knights are going to continue with their two-headed monster in the circle, starting with Ari Primack in game number 1. She's had a very strong season, a transfer from Randolph-Macon just a year ago, and has been a very welcome addition to the Knights this year.
Yeah, at bat for Brevard, we have Beth Hyatt, who's a senior. She's had a pretty solid season so far.
And one that goes right outside of Addie Webster, and that's going to be a quick single for Hyatt. She is one of the leading hitters for Brevard this year. They've struggled to hit the ball, but Hyatt has been leading the way so far this season.
next up at Hooper, 1.84 batting average on the season so far.
And as we mentioned, that one went right past Addie Webster on the infield. She's been very stout this season. That was one of the big strengths yesterday against Pfeiffer, was the infield play of the Knights. Able to really hold Pfeiffer in the first game to just 4 runs until the top of the 8th inning, and then 2 runs all the way until the top of the 7th. So great defense by the Knights yesterday, as they try to throw it back to Katie Clater to get a tag at first.
Yeah, you like to see them putting pressure on the first base right there. Make sure scare her a little bit from stealing.
That puts us at a 0-1 count. And going for the bunt, but I believe that will be a foul, which will send the first runner Hyatt back to first base, and Hooper will return to the plate. Make that an 0-2 count now.
Yeah, that took an unfortunate bounce for Hooper. Bounced kind of backwards into her leg. Couldn't quite get it off on the bunt. We'll see how she works the 0-2 count though here.
And she's caught out swinging with a 3rd strike. That's strikeout number 1 for Ari Primack.
Yeah, Ariana Primack just continuing to dominate this year. Coming in this game with a 3.05 ERA. We saw the ability just now, able to strike out Hooper.
And I was talking to her father earlier today, just before the game, talking about how much of an opportunity she's been given at Southern Virginia on this team. A team that's shown a lot of improvement, and she's been a big help in that. As J.C. Shumway gets the throw over to DeKel Jones at second, that's an out. Make that 2 outs for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, great play by the shortstop there. But even better play almost for the second baseman. Held up throwing it to first, knew she made it in time, so knew it was just going to be a danger throwing it to first.
Yeah, that's one good thing about the Knights this year. They've shown great awareness, not risking things when they don't need to do it. Because ultimately, if there's a wild throw to first, then the runner could have advanced to second. Another good-looking strike for Ari Primack. Batter's caught swinging, but a tough throw to second. Doesn't get the runner out at second.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the speed from Brevard today, just like that, able to steal off of a swing and a miss. She takes it no problem. Now in scoring position.
And good connection. DeKel Jones is running for that one. So is Matea Manuleleua diving to make the catch. But that's going to be a foul just to the right of the line, and that'll send Michaela Morgan, number 14 for Brevard, back to second base. She's also been a big threat for the Tornadoes this year. She leads the team with 2 home runs.
Great play. That was J.C. Shumway at third base, able to respond fast enough and get that out.
Indeed, a good strike, but J.C. was there to make the easy catch, and that'll be the end of the top of the inning. And the Knights move into the batting order, a place where they showed great strength yesterday against a really good Pfeiffer team. Crystal Kemp highlighting the day with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 3rd in the first game.
Yeah, now we'll see Ariana Primack up to bat first, just after that great inning. She's going to come in with a batting average of 373. So she's definitely been slugging so far this season.
And we talked about how great of an addition she is in the circle for the Knights this year, but also at the plate batting-wise. She does lead the team in hits, I think, this year, and that's why they haven't shied away from taking her off the top of the batting order. She's a great person to put to the plate first.
For Brevard, we're seeing Lindsay Toll be on the mound. She's coming in with a 7.43 ERA. So little struggle for her this season, it looks like. We'll see how she handles such an offensive power of the Knights.
Yep, Lindsay Toll, the senior from Pasadena, Maryland, will be in the circle to start against Ari Primack at the top of the batting order for Southern Virginia.
Leading off the inning for the Knights, number 8, Ari Primack.
And that first one is low and to the right. That's first ball for Lindsay Toll. The second one, great contact by Ari Primack right into the middle between the two outfielders, and she's gonna move to second. She's going for third, and she's gonna slide all the way down. Throw just almost gets there in time, but Ari Primack will be safe at third. A great way to start off batting for the Knights.
Just as we mentioned, Primack with a great season so far, she comes out swinging with a first play triple. That's great to see for the Knights.
And certainly Southern Virginia has lots of confidence this year. A lot of improvement from last year. Pitching the ball, but also batting-wise, and they come out swinging, just as you said, Nate, as it brings DeKel Jones up to the plate, where she's had lots of success this year as well. As the wind is certainly picking up here as well. That first pitch is low, below the strike zone. That's one ball for Lindsay Toll.
Yeah, with the wind, you'll definitely see a major impact on the game, especially it's coming infield, so you'll probably see a lot of hangers float up for a little bit. Looking like a home run, but maybe won't quite reach.
And that's a good point to make, Nate. It looks like the wind is going into the face of the batter, so it'll be interesting to see if she's able to make contact, how much it hangs in the air, and if that helps the outfielders or if it deceives them.
Yep. It could be a little tricky playing a ball that floats around in the air.
As big swing by DeKel Jones, that might go back to the wall and just below the fence, as that's going to bring Ari Primack home and DeKel Jones to second base. So an excellent start batting for the Knights. As again, that's DeKel Jones on the double, bringing in a run. That was Ari Primack, and it's 1-0 early on for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, right as we talk about the win, we might have seen it just take effect right there. That could have been gone, perhaps.
Absolutely.
Maybe if she got a little bit under it, but great play nonetheless.
And that brings in J.C. Shumway, who had a couple of key hits early on against Pfeiffer to give the Knights an early lead yesterday against number 12 ranked Pfeiffer. And J.C. so far this year, she seems to be a model of consistency. Always a threat to get on base, and she goes swinging again. And that one's going to roll all the way back to the fence and send DeKel Jones home. Another double for the Knights, as that's J.C. Shumway on the connection.
Yeah, unfortunately for Brevard right now, you're seeing the pitcher's high ERA kind of showing out right now. She's struggling against the Knights, who have been such an offensive weapon this year.
And it looks like there's movement in the dugout for Brevard, as they're going to switch out Lindsay Toll, as she's given up 3 big hits early on to the Knights, and that's going to put in number 15, Abby Delp. She's a sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina, yeah, right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, she's coming with 5.67 ERA.
So certainly not the start that Brevard wants.
No.
Going into their bullpen super early on.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see that if you're a Brevard fan. First inning, pitching change, it's not ideal, but sometimes it's necessary. You know, no outs so far. Knights have scored 2 runs. Runner on scoring position. Definitely want to get out of this jam if you're a Tornado fan.
And up to bat is Crystal Kemp, the last person you want to see up to bat if you're the Tornadoes. Recognizing that she hit a 3-run home run yesterday against Pfeiffer, against a really strong pitcher in Kinsey Lyle yesterday, as Crystal Kemp leads the team with 7 home runs this year. And that home run actually led to an intentional walk in the later going of game 1 yesterday against Pfeiffer. Let's see what she can do here with 1 runner on second. It's J.C. Shumway. And that one's going to go low for ball number 1. Crystal swinging early, a great play on the infield to get the out. And that'll also hold Shumway at second base, preventing any advancements. And that's one out for Brevard.
Yeah, you'd like to see that for Brevard. Bringing the pitcher, she gets one out just like that. We'll see if she's able to keep it up. And we'll see.
And Addie Webster up to bat again. She had another key hit yesterday in game number 1 against Pfeiffer that brought in 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning, but it just wasn't quite enough, as that one is low again for ball 1 for Abby Delp. Another big swing, but that connects with the fence behind the plate. That's going to be a strike. 1-1 the count. That one looks a little low again. That brings the count to 2-1. Bottom of the first inning here at Harvey Dryden Field in Buena Vista, Virginia. 1 out so far for Brevard. And that's going to be a 3rd ball to bring the count to 3-1.
Yeah, I'd love to see the fight right now for the Knights. We'll see how she takes this next pitch. Definitely going to be a little more in the strike zone here. Make sure she doesn't walk it.
Big swing again by Addie Webster, just over the outstretched glove of the outfielder of Brevard. And that's going to bring J.C. Shumway home potentially, and Addie Webster to second base again, the 3rd consecutive double for Southern Virginia to start off the bottom of the first inning. So great hitting at the top of the order for the Knights.
Yeah, fantastic hitting. 1 out so far. We'll see how they can continue this rally going. Now up 3-0.
And it seems that the Knights hitters are just unfazed every single time they go to the plate, as Kraylin Guyman, who's also homered so far this year, is up to bat, and that's 1 ball.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for the Brevard College right fielder there. Just got past her glove. If she maybe reached out just a tad bit more, she might have been able to grab that, but unfortunate play.
And it seems like the wind playing no effect at all for the batters of Southern Virginia. They've hit 4 really strong shots into the outfield, as Guyman makes good connection, but that goes over the fence for a foul to bring the count to 2-1.
Webster on second. Be interesting what.
That one's a little high. That'll be a 3rd ball for Abby Delp. Big strike again by Guyman, but that pops way high back behind the fence behind home plate again, and that'll be a full count now.
We saw on that pitch the dust start to pick up a little bit. Wonder if that got in the batter's eyes right there.
Absolutely. You can see the dust blowing right over the home plate, as the wind certainly has picked up here in the last 20 minutes or so. It's another big strike, and that's a great play by Michaela Morgan and a good throw to first. And that'll be a 2nd out, but it does advance Addie Webster to 3rd in scoring position.
Yeah, we saw Addie Webster kind of hesitate there because of the play to shortstop, but Brevard opted in just trying to get the automatic out at first, which was a great play by them. Yeah, despite Webster getting to 3rd.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Michaela Morgan just trying to simplify things and get the 2nd out, rather than attempting to tag Addie Webster and then make an impressive throw to first base. This is Chloe Persinger, number 21, up to bat for Southern Virginia, with Addie Webster on 3rd in scoring position. Still the bottom of the first inning in Buena Vista, Virginia, 3-0 Knights. As they have had no trouble at the plate so far this afternoon. A high pitch to the inside, but a good catch on the infield to get the third out and a much needed out for Brevard College. That'll put them at the top of the second and batting again.
Yeah, you like to see that for Brevard College. Able to bring in the new pitcher, get 3 outs despite maybe a run or two coming in. They were able to get out of that jam right there. Now let's see how the Knights respond going to the top of the second. Great offensive inning for them. See if they can continue to hold up on defense.
Absolutely. And the unfortunate thing for Brevard is the top of the first wasn't too bad for them. They got a couple of runners on base and looked to be advancing pretty nicely. They didn't score any, but it looked like a good start for them. But then Southern Virginia comes in with 3 consecutive doubles to start the bottom of the first and just seems to take the wind out of them.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a heartbreaker for Brevard. Not able to score any in the last inning, but we'll see how they come out swinging this inning. Hopefully, they're hoping to get someone in scoring position, able to score them. Looking for the same kind of line drives that the Knights hit in the bottom of the first.
And then we talked about earlier how difficult of a schedule Brevard has right now, and how much do you think fatigue plays a factor here, or at least so much travel? Maybe there's a psychological aspect to this game where they're just tired and they want to get home.
Yeah, it definitely has a huge effect on the players. Being on the road for so long, they're kind of missing home. They're kind of tired. They played a lot of games, not easy games.
Absolutely.
And it also gives the opportunity for them to learn from their mistakes, though.
Absolutely. It's another good-looking pitch from Ari Primack that brings the count to 0-2 early on, as she's facing number 16, Lauren Mann, a sophomore from Monroe, North Carolina.
Especially being on a 4-game losing streak right now for Brevard, I feel like it's definitely taking more of a mental challenge for them. It's not easy as a player, but that's where stories are made. Able to, against all odds, come out and swing and try to win the game.
And caught out swinging for a third strike for Ari Primack. A great start to the top of the second for the Knights.
Yeah, another key note is Brevard is 2-6 away, their away record, and so their away games haven't been very nice to them. Of course, they've had a tough season altogether, but they definitely want to see more away wins.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, Nate, despite the difficult schedule, it's a learning curve for Brevard. They seem to be a bit of a young team, and this can only be good for them in the future, I think.
That was a high pitch right there.
And that pitch brings the count to 1-1. As Primack is facing out against Rogers Lucky right now. And that's another strike swinging for Ari Primack.
Yeah, Primack continuing to just catch the batters just off guard with her pitches. Playing phenomenal so far.
Pitch a little bit inside. That's going to go to the left for a foul, but J.C. Shumway reels that in for a catch and an out.
Great play by Shumway there, able to get under it, even though it's a little bit out into the foul. She plays it very well.
That's 2 gone in the top of the second for Southern Virginia. As Carly Queen, number 4, the sophomore from Mocksville, North Carolina, is up to bat. That one's a little high, ball 1.
Another keynote coming into this game. This is the first match between these two teams. The Knights and the Tornadoes have never met up before. Given the Knights being new to USA South, they just haven't had the opportunity to play each other. So they kind of came into this game knowing a little bit about each other, but it plays out different in real time.
Yeah, that's a good point to make, Nate. Both teams a little unfamiliar with each other despite being in the same conference. Obviously, SVU joining the USA South just last year. And these teams didn't face each other on the conference schedule a year ago. They did have one game scheduled about 3 or 4 years ago, around the time that we experienced the heaviness of the COVID-19 pandemic. But that game was, of course, canceled. And so this is the first time they're facing off against each other. A big hit by Queen in the outfield. But Chloe Persinger is going to easily reel that one in for a third out in the end of the top of the second.
Yeah, fantastic 1-2-3 inning for the Knights. Love to see that if you're a Knight fan. Able to get out there, get 3 outs, go back, and now you're on offense and continue your hitting streak.
Exactly, and as well as the day has gone so far for the Knights, that second inning of defense did improve from the first one when they let a couple of people on base. And now they're already back to bat again. It looks like the Tornadoes will remain with Abby Delp, the sophomore, in the circle.
Yeah, now you're going to have first baseman Katie Clater come into bat. She's definitely been a factor for the Knights this year. Very consistent on her at-bats.
Katie Clater, a local. She's a freshman from Buena Vista, Virginia, attending Perry McClure High School, just a couple miles down the road from Harvey Dryden Field.
Leading off the
Yep,
inning
so
for
she
the
definitely has
Knights,
the
number
home field
22,
advantage here.
Katie Clater.
Used to the same kind of climate, you know, maybe used to this kind of humidity we have this afternoon. Love to see locals play for their college.
As Delp lines one up that Clater connects with. That floats behind the plate into the fence for strike one and a foul ball.
Of course, the talk of locals is definitely familiar for colleges such as Brevard, but Southern Virginia has players from all over the nation. All over from Utah, Virginia, Oregon, Idaho, South Carolina, basically everywhere. So they get talent from, you know, throughout the U.S., and you definitely are able to see how unique the Knights play.
Absolutely. Yeah, a large array of talent, players from all over the United States. Of course, SVU aligned with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they're able to recruit a lot of girls from out west. As Katie Clater still at the plate for the Knights, it's a 1-2 count. As that one is inside for ball number 2. Make it 2-2 the count.
Yeah, I love to see that discipline right there. It was definitely inside, definitely shook her a little bit, but it can be very easy to swing out those kind of pitches.
A big swing again, right over the glove of the second baseman. That's going to be a base hit for Katie Clater.
Great simple single right there, gets her on first base.
Now at the plate for the Knights, number 12, Matea Manulele.
And good connection again from the Knights hitters. That brings in Matea Manulele. And she also played a huge factor in the 2 games against Pfeiffer yesterday. In fact, in the second game, she hit an inside the park home run, showing her great speed, which actually tied the game at 2 yesterday in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Connects softly, and that'll be just in the right location to get Manulele to first base and advance Katie Clater as well to second.
Yeah, just as you mentioned, her speed, it's a small hit, but she's fast enough to make it at first base. No problems for her.
Showcasing her speed at the right time. And it seems like every connection that the Knights batters have made has been in the perfect spot where the outfielders or infielders aren't for Brevard. And that has certainly gone in their favor with a 3-0 lead early on. And another error on the infield for Brevard, but they get the out at third. Ari Primack, although, does advance to first base. So a tough bounce for the infielder of Brevard College turns into an important out at third base. Michaela Morgan able to tag third base and get the out.
Yeah, I just want to make note the consistency of the last couple innings at bat. The Knights had 6 out of their 9 players on their lineup make it to base. That is phenomenal, and you know the head coach for the Knights is just jumping in her seat.
That certainly gives the coaching staff confidence when all around the batting order they can have consistent hitting. As that one is low, almost at the feet of Takel Jones, and Matea is going to advance to third, stealing it.
Once again, we see the speed. You knew the coach was going to allow her to steal right there.
And with another low pitch, looks like they might be making another pitching change, the Tornadoes of Brevard College. It's been a tough go for them in the first 2 innings. Can't seem to find too much of a rhythm defensively, as it's all Knights here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, either you see a pitching change right here, or they just come up to the mound to talk to her a little bit, maybe wind her down, calm her pitches down, because it looks like she's going to stay out there. Because once you start letting a few at bats, get out of your control, it's hard to reel it back in a little bit. You got to stay calm, stay focused,
and it looks like Abby Delp might even be banged up a little bit. That's why she got that free pitch to test out her arm, as she was in a little bit of pain after that last steal to third base from Matea. Might be why that throw went into the dirt. But she's going to stay in the circle for the Tornadoes, and hopefully she'll be all right for the rest of the game. It's still Takel Jones at the plate for the Knights, as she makes good contact with that one, but that'll soar over the fence for another foul ball.
Yeah, just got a little too under it. Just sailed right, and just out into the trees it goes.
So 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Knights with runners on second and third base, and Takel Jones at the plate. Swinging again, that's going to be another foul ball, and the count remains at 1-2.
Yeah, for Takel Jones right here, you can tell she likes the pitches she's seeing, the way she's swinging. She just keeps getting just a little too under it and just can't make solid contact.
And it looks like the umpire wants to check one of the balls they're using, having a bit of a discussion with assistant coach Colby Kemp. That was one thing that the Knights faced in their doubleheader against Pfeiffer yesterday, as it was overcast, and eventually in the second game, strong rain started to fall, making the field a bit wet as well as the balls.
Yeah, they had to cover the field last night with a tarp just so the rain wouldn't affect the diamond too much.
And Delp sends that one high to the left. That'll make the count 2-2. Again, 1 out, runners on second and third for the Knights. 2-2 the count with Takel Jones at the plate for Southern Virginia. As Delp sends that one high again, that's going to be another ball. 3-2 the count.
See the dust starting to pick up again. I'm going to take a second, make sure it doesn't get in her eyes.
Big swing by Takel Jones right over the third baseman's arm. And that'll send Matea Manululuea home and Ariana Primack. And there's a bobble, and that'll get Takel Jones to third. She'll slide, and she is safe at third base.
Huge error for Brevard right there.
So big connection and a double for Takel Jones turns into 3 bases for Takel Jones on the error in the infield by Brevard College.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Brevard. A slight bobble like that can just lead to the runner going from second to third, and now she's in even a better scoring position with 1 out.
And a smart play by Ari Primack to advance to home. That seemed to throw off the defenders of Brevard a little bit and maybe cause that bobble, which advanced DeKel Jones to third base. That's number 24, JC Shumway, at the plate for the Knights. Big swing again. That's going to be into left field, but going to be foul. And she's going to catch that and send it to home base, but DeKel Jones is safe.
Yeah, great tag up by DeKel Jones. She knew how far it was into left field, knew she had time, trusted her speed, and it got home.
So good catch and throw by number 4, Carly Queen, in left field, but DeKel Jones just a bit too quick, able to make it to home, and a 6-0 lead, I believe, for Southern Virginia. Crystal Kemp up to the plate. Another big hitter for Southern Virginia.
So 2 3-run innings for the Knights so far. We'll see if they can tack on any more in the bottom of the second.
That one's close to in the dirt for Abby Delp. And that'll make it 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
Another low pitch in the dirt right there. Good job by the catcher, able to get in front of it even if it took an awkward bounce.
Yeah, it looks like Delp's trying to find that lower end of the strike zone. Maybe trying to pitch around Crystal Kemp. Crystal Kemp, the senior from Harriman, Utah. That one is inside again for another ball.
Yeah, Crystal Kemp hit into a double play. Not a double play, sorry. She got out last inning. So we'll see how she responds in the second inning.
And she's going to take that ball for ball number 4, and she'll advance to first base. And to your point, Nate, surprisingly, she was one of the few Knights that didn't get on base last inning. So that's obviously nice for her to get in on the fun, as that brings Addie Webster, who had a big connection to center field last inning, back to the plate.
2 outs. We see how the Knights handle being down 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Good patience by Addie Webster, but that does find the strike zone. 0 balls and 1 strike for Abby Delp. Good connection again, but a great catch in the circle by Abby Delp, and that'll be the end of the second inning. A great play by Abby.
Yeah, so ends up 2 3-run innings for the Knights, leading 6 runs to 0. How do you think Brevard goes about this being down 6 in the top of the third?
It's a good question. I mean, you just got to keep playing. You know, they've had a tough week. They've played well, but it is a difficult schedule. So you've just got to stay focused and keep chipping your way back into it, I think.
Yeah. Also, anything can happen, really. Just Brevard, all they have to do is get some good connections when they're up to bat and just ride the momentum. I think the biggest problem for Brevard is going to be able to, even if they start swinging pretty good and getting runners on base and getting some home, is the ability to stop the Knights from continuing their hot hitting streak.
And certainly if you're Brevard College, you want to get out in front of this inning and get someone on base quickly to respond to the 2 consecutive 3-run innings by Southern Virginia. As Ari Primack's going to return to the circle for Southern Virginia.
So we'll see Layton come up to bat for Brevard. She's yet to have an at-bat this game.
Primac with 2 strikeouts so far this afternoon. That one's a little low. Make it 1-1 the count. And this is Leighton at the plate for Brevard, the freshman from Orlando, Florida. And she makes good connection, but Addie Webster, a great play to pick that up off the dirt and send it to Katie Clater at first for the easy out.
Yeah, fantastic play. Got in front of the ball, made sure she had control, and just slung it to first without any problems.
And we saw Addie Webster yesterday make a few excellent plays in the clutch for Southern Virginia on the defensive side of things, but also batting.
Now here's Webb, the right fielder for Brevard College.
And she swings at that one. And with 1 out in the top of the 3rd, that's an 0-1 count for Ariana Primac. Nice looking pitch right down the middle. That'll make it 0-2.
You know, working 0-2 here for Primac. We'll see if maybe she'll try to get her to reach for an outside pitch here.
And she makes a connection, but again, right into the glove of JC Shumway. And she'll nicely send that over to Katie Clater for another out at first base. 2 gone in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, fantastic play from the infield for the Knights. They're not really letting anything get past them. Any kind of ground ball, they're right on top of, and they have been playing fantastic so far.
Certainly, they've made it easy so far for the outfielders. That's Matea Manuleleua, Emily Oldham, and Chloe Persinger in the outfield for the Knights, as DeKel Jones again picks that up and sends it to first, and 3 up, 3 gone for the Knights in the top of the 3rd. It remains 6-0 in favor of Southern Virginia.
Yeah, back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for the Knights. Primac is definitely feeling it today. Confidence boost is definitely a pro for having back-to-back innings like that.
And she has so far 2 strikeouts, which in itself is great, but also she's not letting them hit anything past the infield.
No, yeah, she's pitching it perfectly where the batters for Brevard can't really locate it. They almost don't feel comfortable when they're swinging the bat.
Yeah, as you saw, a lot of check swings by the Tornadoes in the past couple of innings. Abby Delp, number 15 of Brevard, will remain in the circle for the beginning of the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on whatever caused her to maybe get shaken up earlier.
Now batting for the Knights.
Looks like she's doing a lot better now.
That's Kraylin Guyman up to the plate for Southern Virginia.
Another one of the few Knights who didn't make it to the plate their first at bat. Let's see how she's able to combat that.
Dub lines that one up, and that's just outside for 1 ball. Good connection by Guyman right by the shortstop into the outfield. That's going to be another single. And once again, Guyman joins the fun this time with a base hit.
Yeah, once again, you see the Knights with an on-base hit,
Now batting for the Knights,
fighting an early count pitch. You know, they're swinging really, really early on these pitches, and it's paying off for SVU.
And that one rolled right through the circle back to Beth Hyatt of Brevard. Good placement by Kraylin Guyman on that base hit. Lots of encouragement from her teammates for Abby Delp, the sophomore. As there's another good connection by Chloe Persinger out to the outfield again. And that's going to be a single and put two Knights on base at first and second. So another great start to the inning for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, fantastic connection right there. Up comes 22, Katie Clater now. We saw her get on base at her last at-bat.
Now batting number 22, Katie
And correct me if I'm
Slater.
wrong, Nate, but I think with that hit, every single Knight in the batting order today now is a base hit.
I believe you are correct.
As Katie Clater will take that strike, a good looking pitch from Abby Delp. Another big windup, and that's a little high to the left for ball one.
Yeah, so Crystal Kemp hasn't made connection to making on base. She's had a
That's correct,
strikeout
base
and
on
a walk.
ball. Correct.
So everyone for the SVU lineup has been on base though.
Clater connects again with that one, but that'll sail to the right of Brevard's dugout for another foul ball. Good connection into right field. That's going to go back towards Jasmine Webb, the freshman of Brevard in the outfield, and that's going to send Kraylin Guyman home and Chloe Persinger to third base. Another great hit by Katie Clater, who's at second base.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Rode the foul line all the way and just stayed foul, just good enough. Not a play the right fielder likes, but unfortunately.
And that brings up Matea Manuleleua, who showed great speed at her last at bat. Helped her get home to score a run for the Knights. Another connection down the left field line, and that's going to send Chloe Persinger home. Matea's going to go for second, but a good play at second to get the out. That's number 13, Layton on the tag.
Love to see the effort right there. Using her speed that she knows she has. She felt like she could have beat it, just unluckily got beat out this time around.
She might have thought she could catch the outfielders of Brevard sleeping, but maybe got a tad too greedy there, but you can't put any shame on the effort. That was a great effort by Matea. She's had a lot of success base running the past couple of days.
Yeah, now the Knights back to the top of their lineup. Ariana Primack coming back to bat. She's
Pitching
1 and
change
2
for
on the day.
Tornadoes. Now in the circle, number 37, Kennedy Fennell.
And Brevard's going to make another pitching change in the circle here in the third inning, as Ari Primack of Southern Virginia is coming up to bat for the third time here in the bottom of the third. 8-0 the score for Southern Virginia against Brevard College. Only one out gone in the bottom of the third.
Yep, so now Brevard reaching deep in their bullpen, bringing out the third pitcher in 3 innings. Not ideal for them.
And number 37, Kennedy Fennell, the freshman, a left-handed pitcher. She's from Travelers Rest, South Carolina.
Now at the plate, number 8, Ari Primack.
Now Primack, just an absolute double-edged sword for the Knights.
Fennell's first delivery that's high to the right for a ball.
You're definitely starting to see a lot of these two-way players in the modern day of softball, pitching and a solid hitter. Definitely becoming a lot more common. Ari Primack is just showcasing her skills to be able to be that two-way player.
Primack certainly a dual threat for the Knights this year, as Brevard tried to catch Katie Clater at third, but none doing there. Fennell's delivery is connected by Ari Primack, speeding to first, and they get the out at first. A good effort by Ari Primack, but that does bring Katie Clater home to extend the lead for the Knights.
Yeah, definitely put the pressure on the second baseman there to hurry it up, throw it to first, because she wasn't going to let them, you know, get her an easy out at first and then throw it home to get it out at home.
And so far, DeKella Jones has been an absolute weapon so far for the Knights. 2 at-bats, 2 hits, and 3 RBIs so far this afternoon, as Finnell's first delivery of this at-bat is wide to the left for a first ball.
Yeah, DeKella with a phenomenal game thus far. Let's see if she can continue her hot streak right here.
Second delivery from Finnell is high for ball number 2.
Now those high pitches can be tempting sometimes.
They sure can.
They kind of float a little bit, but you know it's high. But here comes a big hit.
Big connection into right field, but a bobble by the outfielder of Brevard. That's going to send DeKella Jones with another hit to second base as she continues her hot streak this weekend.
Yeah, make that 3 for 3 for DeKella now.
And an unfortunate miss by number 24, Jasmine Webb, who has seen a lot of work so far this afternoon.
Yeah, that's one of the tough ones when it's up there for a little bit. You're confident that you got it, and then once it comes down, it just comes down so awkward, especially with the wind.
Exactly, good point. Maybe the wind was a factor in that one.
Yeah.
As DeKella Jones now at second, 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. JC Shumway is up to bat for the Knights. As Finnell's next pitch is a little bit high for another ball.
Yeah, JC Shumway, I believe. She's 1-1 on the day with a walk as well. So great discipline by JC thus far this game.
Big swing by JC Shumway, and that'll go behind the fence for another foul ball. And DeKella Jones remains at second base. As the wind continues to pick up here at Harvey Dryden Field. High delivery from Finnell. Swung out again by Shumway, and that'll be another foul ball. Another high pitch, and that's going to be another ball. Good patience by Shumway.
Be interested to see if the coach sends DeKella Jones to third on a steal with 2 outs. It's not likely, but she's inching her way every time.
Another high pitch. That'll be ball number 3, I believe, for Finnell at this at bat. Make it a full count, 3-2. And to your point, Nate, DeKella Jones last time she was on base showed great speed to get home. Big connection by JC Shumway. That might be gone just to the left of the outfield line.
You know JC Shumway is disappointed about that. She swung a tad bit too late, and just because of that, it went foul.
And that swing had a lot of power behind it. Thought it was gone. Maybe the wind played a factor, but nonetheless, she'll go back to the plate still at a full count, 3-2. Low delivery by Fennell and gets JC Shumway swinging. Nice play by number 13, Leighton, the freshman from Orlando, Florida, over to first base for the 3rd out.
Yeah, after that long fight between Shumway and the pitcher there, you saw Shumway maybe get a little bit impatient on some of the pitches, especially that last pitch. She reached for that one. Would have been a ball 4 most likely. But she wanted to make that hit, especially almost getting a home run.
So that brings us to the top of the 4th inning. Southern Virginia leads Brevard College 9-0.
Yeah, tough state to be in for Brevard College right now. Down 9 runs. Definitely a lot of mental blockage they have to overcome right now. Think of it 0-0 right now. Just try to score as much as you can.
And as we mentioned, Brevard College, they've had this super difficult road trip, a difficult week, about 10 games in the last 8 days, and they run into a Southern Virginia team that is just overflowing with confidence, almost taking down number 12 ranked in the country, Pfeiffer, yesterday, twice. And they are showing no signs of slowing down in the early going this afternoon against Brevard College, as Ari Primack returns to the circle yet again at the top of the 4th. She has, I believe, 2 strikeouts to her name this afternoon and has shown quick work each inning of the Brevard hitters. As she'll tee one up here again. Big gust of wind, and that is just outside for ball number 1. Quick windup. A little bit low for ball 2. So good patience by Hooper in the early going. The sophomore from Robinsonville, North Carolina.
Yeah, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is only Hooper's second at bat. And so you see the difference with the runs. It's 9-0 right now, and Brevard College just really hasn't had the opportunity to.
A great connection by Hooper there into left field. It forces Persinger to come in closer to field it. That'll be a single for Gabby Hooper. Good start to the inning for Brevard College.
Yeah, as I was saying before that play happened, they've had a limited amount of at-bats compared to the Knights. And you can see that with the score, of course. But we'll see as the game gets later how the Tornadoes can kind of rally back being down 9 runs with the more opportunities they're granted.
And that's a good point to make, Nate, as up to bat now is Michaela Morgan, Brevard's most lethal hitter. And the Knights have done such a good job that this is only her second at bat. And trying to steal for second is Hooper, and she is just safe as Addie Webster reached out for the tag. And I'm sorry, that is Gabby Hooper.
Yeah, great steal right there.
And great execution on the steal. And that is just exactly what Brevard needs to try and get someone closer to scoring position to cut this deficit. Again, Michaela Morgan leads the team with 2 home runs. Hit up high, and Addie Webster is under that one. And it prevents Hooper from attempting any advance to third base. She remains at second.
That's an ideal spot for the Knights right there. Not allowing Hooper to go to third. That's what you like to see.
And that's a tough at-bat for Morgan, as they're banking on her to deliver the goods with 1 runner on base. Good looking pitch from Primack. That's strike 1 swinging.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Morgan being one of the more lethal hitters for Brevard College. Just having a tough day so far. Primack seems to be ringing her up and able to win the battles every time.
This is Sarah Barnes at the plate for Brevard College. The count 0-2. And high swinging is Barnes, and Primack earns another strikeout.
I believe that's her 3rd, 4th strikeout now.
Yes, indeed, and that remains. That keeps Gabby Hooper at second base, preventing any advancement. As that's a nice looking pitch again for another strike.
Yeah, it gets her on the check swing right there.
batters gone for Southern Virginia in the top of the 4th. 1 runner on base. And good patience as that was outside, but it does get just the outside portion of the strike zone for another strike for Ari Primack. Oh and 2 with 2 outs. A little low, that makes the count 1 and 2.
Yeah, working down. Before that ball, she was 0-2. You're gonna see a lot of patience right here from the batter. She knows what's gonna. She knows she has a general idea of what's gonna come her way. Now 2-2 after that ball. Love to see discipline being down 0-2 like that.
Another low pitch by Ari Primack trying to get her fishing. Another good delivery, good contact, but that bounces into the feet of the batter.
That's a stinger right there. Never feels good when a ball bounces in like that.
That's Lauren Mann at the plate for Brevard College. A good looking pitch from Ari Primack. Thought that one got the strike zone, but it didn't. And that brings it to a full count, 3-2.
Wow. Good patience by the batter for Brevard so far. Working from an 0-2 count to a full count. Let's see what Primack can do right here.
A little high, that's gonna be a walk. And so far so good for Brevard College. 2 outs, but they do have 2 runners on base, first and second. Once again, the wind really picking up here in the top of the 4th at Harvey Dryden Field in Buena Vista, Virginia.
Swinging at that first one right there.
Yeah, that's Rogers Lucky swinging on the first pitch of the at-bat. Bring it to an 0-1 count. Another nice deceptive pitch by Ari Primack. Gets the batter swinging again, 0-2 count.
Yeah, so with 2 outs right now, you got 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. Primack definitely kind of feeling the pressure right now. Let's see if she can get out of this jam right here. Ooh, with the low ball.
Nice low pitch, almost got Rogers Lucky to swing, but she held back, and that makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It'll be interesting to see if Brevard is able to take this opportunity to get a run in.
She connects, but Ari Primack nicely picks it up in the circle and sends it to first for Katie Clater to have the outs.
Yeah, it's a great inning by the Knights. Even despite having 2 runners on first and second, they were able to work out of the jam, get that last out, and prevent Brevard from scoring any more, holding them to 0 runs.
So as we move into the bottom of the 4th inning, the score remains Southern Virginia 9, Brevard 0, but Brevard did show some improvement on that previous inning, able to get a couple of runners on base as they'll look to cool off the red-hot Southern Virginia batters.
Remember, in softball, there is the mercy. And I can't remember exactly the score differential it has to be for mercy rule.
I think it's 8 runs after 5 innings, I believe.
8 runs after 5 innings. So the Knights probably going to look for that.
Yeah, if they're able to connect here on a couple of hits and send some runners home, they can extend their lead and make it really difficult for Brevard to dig themselves out of this hole that they've created in the first game.
Yeah, that's why you also definitely don't let up. You know, you may get this comfortable feeling of being up 9-0 in the game, but you would definitely want to go for that mercy rule, and that would require you not not allowing them to continue to score.
And that's number 37, Kennedy Fennell, returning to the circle for Brevard College. Despite all the runs from Southern Virginia previously, she did have a pretty solid bottom of the third to stop the bleeding for Brevard. And an interesting thing to think about, Nate, is that with all the success that Southern Virginia has had this season compared to others, is the past 7 or 8 games they've faced a lot of adversity. They've had really strong opponents, and I think they've actually lost maybe 5 or 6 of the last 7 despite playing all of those teams super strong. And so this is an opportunity for them to get back in their groove, win some games, and retain that confidence for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So right now at bat, we actually have number 19, Christians, coming in for pinch hitting for the Knights. We'll see what she can do here. First at bat.
As the Knights lead 9-0 here in conference play against Brevard College, they have had honestly a gauntlet of a schedule the past couple of weeks, playing 2 top 12 teams in the country, playing both of them super tough, but unable to come out with wins. But this is just the kind of performance that Southern Virginia needs after 2 heartbreaking losses against Pfeiffer yesterday.
Definitely.
And as Nate mentioned, this is Madison Christensen, the freshman from Hermiston, Oregon, up to the plate. She has homered this year as she rips it into left field. That's going against the fence, and that's going to be a foul ball just to the left of the foul pole, as Christensen is searching for her 2nd homer this year.
Yeah, great hit, great contact. 2nd one today that's gone just left of the foul pole.
Brings it to a 2-2 count. Fennell delivers, and another good connection. It's going to go into the glove of number 4, Carly Queen. A great catch as Christensen thought she was off to the races.
Now batting for the Knights, number 18, Brooklyn Davis.
So we see another pinch hitter coming in, Brooklyn Davis for the Knights.
And another good thing about extending or having this big of a lead is you get to go through your entire dugout and give these other players opportunities that they haven't seen.
Definitely.
Good connection again, just past the outstretched arm of number 13, Layton, the freshman.
Yeah, fantastic hit. You know, that feels good as a freshman, get on base like that.
Now at the plate
Allow the
for
starters
Knights,
to rest,
number
especially for the second match of the
23,
doubleheader.
Barrett Jessup.
That was Brooklyn Davis on the nice base hit. She's at first base now as Barrett Jessup is up to bat for the Knights. The senior from Salt Lake City, Utah. She was in the batting order during the first game against Pfeiffer. She's a great leader that the entire team looks up to and that the coaching staff can really count on for senior leadership. Dual sport athlete also. She's a member of Southern Virginia's women's basketball team.
Always love to see that.
As Jessup will let that one go by for a second ball. Good patience. As Fennell lines it up for a 3rd time this at bat. Good connection again, but a great catch, and she's able to get the tag at first on Brooklyn Davis. A great play by number 16, Lauren Mann, to end the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, great double play by Brevard right there. Caught the freshman off guard there. Great snag. Nothing too much you can do against that. You know, you start running when you're on first base, you don't expect them to snag it like that, and you don't have a lot of time to get back. So unfortunate, but great play by Brevard.
Great snag and great reaction time by Mann. And with the awareness to know that Brooklyn Davis was cheating a little bit over to second base and was able to get the tag before returning. As we head into the top of the 5th, the Knights lead Brevard
Pitching
College
change for the Knights.
9-0,
Now in the
as
circle,
we'll see
number
another pitching
17,
change. This
Maddie
time for
Lloyd.
Southern Virginia, Maddie Lloyd is going into the circle, number 17. She is a sophomore from Richfield, Utah. As in the second half of the first game against Pfeiffer, she was able to see some time in the circle.
Yeah, you're starting to see the Knights bring out some of the younger players right now, being up 9 in the outfield, at least that I see. We got Kayla Autry, number 4 at center field, Sydney Steskill
Leading off
in the right field,
for the Tornadoes, number
and
4,
Chloe Cochran, left field.
Carly Queen.
Definitely giving their starters some rest because they still got to play another match today.
Absolutely. As Southern Virginia heads into their bullpen with Maddie Lloyd, she'll face Carly Queen for her first at-bat. And Queen will let that one go by. Lloyd, that quick delivery, quick windup, that's a little low to the right, near the feet of Carly Queen.
Yeah, so the young sophomore up in the mound. She's only played a couple games.
Good connection by Carly Queen, but a great play. That's Cadence Van Dyvener, number 7, with a good catch to get the first out of the inning for Southern Virginia.
Yeah, fantastic reaction time by the Knights right
Now
there.
batting for the Tornadoes, number 13, Evelise Layton.
Cadence is a freshman, part of that terrific freshman class this year for Southern Virginia. Another quick windup and good connection. That's going to hit the top of the Knights dugout for a foul ball. See a lot of communication between the outfielders of the Knights. That's Kayla Autry, number 4. Probably trying to get a good idea of where the wind's going and where the ball might float into the outfield.
Yeah. Quick foul away right there.
That's Evelise Layton, the freshman at the plate for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, she's 0-1 on the day so far.
Another quick windup, good connection. That's going to float over the fence and behind in the shrubs for another foul. 0-2 still the count. Another connection.
Just out
Knights,
of play.
Knights are searching that one to make the catch, but it's going to float behind the dugout for another foul ball. As you can see, lots of dirt picking up on the infield. Maddie Lloyd trying to shield herself from that.
Yeah, you do not want that in your eyes. Might not be able to play for a couple pitches.
And that's a good point, Nate. You can hear number 4 in the outfield for the Knights, Kayla Autry, trying to tell Lloyd that. Don't let it get in your eyes.
Especially if the ball comes your way. You want to be able to play it, not be blind while you're playing.
And after 4 straight strikes, that's a ball, or a couple of straight foul balls, I should say. And that quick delivery floats high for the second consecutive ball.
Yeah, it looks like she let it go a little bit too late right there. got some really good airtime. Catcher played it well.
And that one goes a little low that time. And that'll make it a full count, a big battle here between Maddie Lloyd and Evelise Layton. And a good-looking pitch is swung on for another foul ball.
The fight continues between these two young players right here. Layton being the freshman, as you mentioned, and a sophomore pitcher, so we'll have to see a battle of two young
Big
players.
connection by Layton. That's going to go into left field. That's going to stay fair. She's going for second base. As Chloe Cochran picks it up and sends it into the infield. Big hit for Brevard. That's what they needed. Their biggest hit on the day as Layton advances to second base and brings Jasmine Webb to the plate for Brevard College.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play. Beautiful hit by Layton. Able to just narrowly hit it into the left field and gets in scoring position now for Brevard.
Absolutely, a beautifully placed shot by the freshman Layton. As the Knights try to preserve this 9-run lead here in the top of the 5th inning.
It's like there's some kind of miscommunication right now.
And I think that's the catcher, Barrett Jessup, coming out to have a discussion with Maddie Lloyd, strategize a little bit. After the first big hit is allowed by Southern Virginia. But that was great patience and resilience by Layton as she got herself an early hole, no 2 count, but fought her way back with a few foul balls and 3 balls to bring it to a full count before she blasted that one into left field. Looks like Brevard might be making a change in the lineup.
Yeah, they're talking with the umpires right now, making sure everything's getting situated. Probably bringing in a pinch hitter right now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that still is Jasmine Webb, number 24, at the plate.
You are correct.
As Lloyd winds up another big connection that floats high up into left field as Chloe Cochran's going to come down to the, no, she bobbles it, but it is a foul ball, fortunately for the Knights, as the wind might have had a lot of impact on that shot to left field.
Yeah, great job getting under by Cochran. Just unable to snag it near the end. It was definitely reaching up high. Hard to kind of place, really.
Yeah, hits that go high in the air like that can be super deceptive for the outfielders. As that pitch sails by Webb, and it's a 1-1 count. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. The Knights trying to hold on to a 9-0 lead against Brevard College. Maddie Lloyd still in the circle for the Knights. Big connection again into left field. Chloe's going to come on top of that. And a bit of a bobble at third base is going to send Jasmine Webb to second base.
Now we see Brevard College making a little bit more contact, able to get 2 runners in scoring position. Putting the pressure on the Knights right now to maybe score 2 in this inning.
Exactly, those are good connections. With only 1 out, they do have a runner in scoring position on third, and then Jasmine Webb at second after that single, but an error allowing her to go to second. Super strong winds here in the top of the 5th. Of that hit sails out for another foul ball. And even with our headsets on, Nate, we can hear how violent the winds are getting. The trees behind us are being smacked around.
Yeah.
And certainly that might have an impact on the pitches and the high shots into outfield.
Definitely. They definitely have a huge impact on the game. It's not, especially when the higher and higher it gets in the air, the more it affects the way the ball comes down to the ground. You see the trees back there just moving.
This is Beth Hyatt up to the plate for Brevard, but a soft hit to first, and an error is going to bring two home. Jasmine Webb diving for the plate. And Layton getting there first, but Webb, after the error to home plate, is going to find it too to make it 9-2 Southern Virginia.
Yeah, that's an error you don't want to see by the Knights right there. They gave up one run,
22.
and she was already crossing the plate by the time she threw it. And so definitely not a necessary throw. It led to the error, allowing Brevard to get 2 runs.
And that was number 18, Brooklyn Davis of first base, trying to make the play to home plate. But again, as we talked about, with this big lead, Southern Virginia's been able to go through a lot of their dugout and give these type of players an opportunity to learn. As Brooklyn Davis had a really nice hit in the last inning, but just made a bit of an error to home plate there. Another good connect, as that one flipped to the right this time over the dugout of Brevard. This is Gabby Cooper, number 22, at the plate again. One of the few tornadoes that has seen a bit of success at the plate. That one's high by Maddie Lloyd, and that'll bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Hooper 1 and 2 on the day right now. Let's see if she can continue being consistent and continue to tack on runs for Brevard. Now 9-2.
Another connect, and that one once again is going to float behind the fence behind home plate for another foul ball. That one's going to be high to the left, and Maddie Lloyd is going to walk Gabby Cooper.
Number 14.
So you see the young experience on the mound right now, being a sophomore. She only has a couple games under her belt, but it also allows her to learn, really gain experience, because she'll be a part of this program for the next few years.
Absolutely. As Maddie Lloyd came in after either the 3rd or the 4th inning, and has been solid in the circle, despite allowing a couple of big runs from Brevard College here in the top of the 5th. 1 runner on base for Brevard, that's Gabby Cooper, with Michaela Morgan at the plate. Their big hitter on the year so far, the only Tornado to hit a home run. She has 2 this season, along with 18 RBIs.
18 RBIs is phenomenal. It's an overlooked stat.
That one's inside, and Gabby Cooper's going to advance to second base. Jessup able to get in front of that, but it took an unfortunate hop to the left and allowed Cooper to advance.
Yeah, great awareness by Cooper right there.
Big swing by Michaela Morgan. That's going to go to left field, and that's going to be gone for a 2-run home run for Michaela Morgan.
2-run shot from Morgan right there. That is a great play. by Brevard College. They're definitely excited about that one. Meeting her as she comes around to the home plate. Now 9-4, I believe.
9-4 the score now for Southern Virginia. They came into the top of the 5th with a 9-0 lead, but 4 quick runs by Brevard as Michaela Morgan smokes her 3rd home run of the season to left field.
Now batting number 9, Sarah Barnes.
Sarah Barnes up to the plate, the sophomore from Brevard College.
Yeah, she's had a tough day so far, 0-2. Let's see if she's able to get on base here.
Another high delivery from Maddie Lloyd. As Barnes lets that one sail by for the first ball. Barnes connects with that one, but that sails behind the plate for a foul ball.
Let's see if the Knights can get out of this inning. They've had 2 outs for quite a while now.
Another connection. And Sydney Seskel's going for that one, but that's going to float to the right of the line for a foul ball. About 3 Knights converged to left field for that one. Right field, I'm sorry.
It's left for you.
Yeah. Big swing and a nice looking strike for Maddie Lloyd. Looked like Barnes almost thought she got struck out. Started walking towards the dugout.
So that was the 2nd out. I incorrectly said there were 2 outs earlier.
And there it is there it is for Maddie Lloyd to end the top of the 5th. So despite some adversity, Maddie Lloyd able to regroup and get the strikeout.
Yeah.
And as we move into the bottom of the 5th inning, Brevard gaining some momentum off of a 2-run home run, in addition to 2 other runs earlier from Brevard to make it 9-4.
Hey everyone, we still have lots of treats up here behind home plate, so don't be shy. We have cookies, we got truffles, we got Rice Krispie treats. Feel free to come up, they're free. If you'd like to make a donation, we would appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So we'll definitely see how the Knights come out here in the bottom of the 5th here after allowing 4 runs. We'll see what the coach has coming up with her lineup. See if she makes any changes, see if they can tack on any more runs.
Now batting for the Knights, number 5, Chloe Cochran.
As Chloe Cochran is up to bat for the Knights, number 5. Chloe, a sophomore from Colville, Washington. That's that one sail by. Big connection, that's gonna sail to the left. On top of the hill for a foul ball from Chloe.
Hit the netting all the way out there. That would have been a solid hit if only she made enough contact on that. Chloe Cochran has a lot of power in her swings. Strikes out.
A big swing there, but Chloe's gonna strike out. Nice looking pitch from Fennell, who's remained on the mound for the past couple of innings for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, she's come in and really put the Tornadoes on her back with her pitching. Able to get another strikeout, limit the Knights hitting streak that they've been on. fantastic pitching by Brevard.
As the wind picks up again, the score is 9-4 here in the bottom of the fifth inning at Harvey Dryden Field. It is Katie Clater, number 22, up to bat for the Knights. She connects, and it's on the infield. A good play to get it to first base and get Katie Clater out at first.
Yeah, again, we see phenomenal pitching right now by Brevard College. They're continually, even if the Knights make contact, it's only going in the dirt and a quick out at first.
Absolutely, and after that 4-run fifth inning for Brevard College, they've continued that momentum here into the defensive side of things, as Kennedy Fennell doing a stellar job here in the bottom of the fifth. That first one's going to be a strike for Kennedy Fennell.
So with the mercy rule basically out of play now, especially after that wonderful inning by Brevard College, do you see the Knights continuing putting in their younger players just to give their starters a little more rest?
I think so, and you know, one thing to consider is despite giving up 4 runs in the top of that fifth inning, they are learning and able to settle. They need some time to settle in.
Yep.
As Fennell makes a great throw to first base to get number 17, Madison Lloyd, out at first base. So a really nice bottom of the fifth for Brevard College. But to your point, Nate, I think it's important to allow them to keep going and try to settle in as much as they can, because lots of these players might not get this opportunity down the road.
Definitely, I agree. Giving the younger players a chance, you know, not only leads to them to allow them to settle into this game, but allows for them to gain experience, because they still have a few years left in this program, and so they got to gain all the in-game experience as they can, and so that they might be able to shine later in the future.
Absolutely.
Malia Davis.
And I'm sure that the coaching staff has seen a lot in these players in practices and other games during the season. So I think they have the full trust in them to get the job done here.
Yeah. Now we're going to see number 6, Malia Davis, pitching for the Knights.
Malia Davis, a freshman from St. George, Utah. Last inning, I think she was playing third base.
I believe you are correct on that.
And Malia will be the third pitcher to take the circle in this first game this afternoon. And other than Ariana Primack and Crystal Kemp, I think Malia Davis, she's seen the most innings pitched this season besides those 2 that we mentioned.
Yeah.
As she's pitched almost 15 innings so far.
Yeah, super impressive, especially for a freshman. Having 15 innings pitched.
Number
Definitely a young
Lauren
star
Mann.
for the Knights.
And she'll be a key clog in the Knights lineup, as Crystal Kemp, as we mentioned, a senior. And pretty soon will not be a part of the team anymore, unfortunately.
Unfortunate part of college sports.
You only get 4 years.
Yep.
As the wind continues to pound us here at Harvey Dryden Field, number 6, Malia Davis, is in the circle for the Knights to start the top of the 6th inning. Big windup, that's a little high for ball 1. Lauren Mann up to the plate for Brevard. She's been walked once and also struck out once.
Yeah, so 2 high pitches right out the bat from Malia. Let's see, would like to see her maybe settle it down a little bit, you know, focus on the strike zone.
And another high pitch to the left. That'll make it 3 balls and 0 strikes for Malia Davis. And Nate, what are the differences that you've seen in the pitching so far between Ariana Primack, Maddie Lloyd, Malia Davis, and their pitching styles?
Yeah, so their pitching styles, when it comes with more experience, you see more variety out of their pitches. You know, maybe a little more, you know, change-ups. But a young player such as Malia Davis, you know, she comes out probably a little nervous, you know, coming into this game. Don't want to have another inning where you let up 4 runs. But you see that pitch right there. That's her 5th pitch in a row. That's a little high, and so she just has to be able to keep control. And that's kind of where you see the difference between the experienced players and the younger players. Is experienced players, they're able to, of course, they still make mistakes where they may throw it high, but they're able to gain everything under control and be able to work their way back into the count.
And Rogers lucky goes for the bunt there to send number 16 Lauren Mann to second base, and the runner will also be safe at first.
Now batting number 4, Carly Queen.
As Brooklyn Davis not quite able to get the ball over to first for the tag. And that'll allow Brevard runners to get to first and second here in the top of the 6th. So Brevard applying the pressure late in this one, recovering from a 9-0 deficit to make it 9-4 and threatening here in the top of the 5th. And to your point, Nate, it looks like Malia has a bit of a longer windup compared to Maddie Lloyd's really quick release, but I'm sure that Malia will be able to settle in here after searching for that high part of the strike zone early on.
Yeah, just give her some time. Allow her to, you know, warm up, because, you know, she's coming in late into this game at the top of the 6th. And you just gotta let her settle in, and she'll be able to knock those pitches right in.
That last pitch will make the count 1-1, as it's Malia Davis versus Carly Queen. Big swing, just skims the bottom of the ball, and that'll send it into the fence for a foul behind the plate. One and 2 the counts. Again, runners on first and second for the Tornadoes. 0 outs in the top of the 6th. They are threatening to cut this 5-run lead. And a big swing again, up high, good communication. That's Sydney Stesko on the catch. And that'll prevent any runner from advancing into scoring position. A good catch by Sydney. Yeah, in the infield.
Right there.
Davis now faces the freshman Layton, who scored last inning for Brevard College. She's swinging early.
Yeah, Layton had a great at-bat, I believe, last inning. Now 1 and 2 on the day, so that's really good for a freshman hitter.
That one's in the dirt. Barrett Jessup being aware, watching for any runner advancing from second to third or first to second. Big swing connects. And that'll just barely be foul. A short hit. But nonetheless, another strike that'll make the count 1 and 2. Big connection again. That's way high over the Knights dugout, and that'll be a foul ball.
Battle continues between these two players. Both freshmen. Let's see how each of them are able to handle a long, drawn-out battle like this.
3 consecutive fouls from Evilise Layton. She'll let that one float just above the strike zone. A good-looking pitch from Malia Davis, but didn't get the benefit of the doubt there from the umpire.
You know Malia Davis wanted that strike right there. Just unfortunately just missed it.
Big windup and a big swing, but a nice looking strikeout for Malia Davis.
First strikeout from Malia Davis right there. She's definitely feeling good after that one. Still got runners on first and second, but after a strikeout like that, your confidence just soars through the roof, and let's see if she can get settled in now.
Absolutely, a good looking strike. Looked a little high at first, but sunk into the strike zone just above the bat. Big connection though on the next pitch. Chloe's going for that, and that's going to be a foul just left of the left field line. But good job of Chloe Cochran to get over there quickly.
Yeah, that was a hard angle for Chloe to take right there. A little awkward. She put a good effort, just couldn't quite make it in time.
Certainly makes those plays a little harder right at the fence.
Definitely, you definitely don't want to risk running into the fence, hurting yourself. So you gotta kind of play it more conservatively, not just go in a dead sprint.
Absolutely. That last pitch sunk into the strike zone for a strike. 0-2 the count. And that one's a little bit high. Still 2 runners on base for Brevard College. It's number 16, Lauren Mann at second. Also runner at first base. Big swing right into the middle. Kayla Autry is under that one, and that'll end the top of the 6th. A great job by Malia Davis and the Knights outfielders and infielders to get the job done in the 6th.
Yep, love to see Malia Davis come in, hold Brevard College to 0 runs this inning. She's definitely feeling good about that inning. Continues to be 9-4 going to the bottom of the 6th now. Now coming to near the end of the game, it'll be interesting to see how both sides play the next couple innings. You'll definitely see Brevard take a lot more heavy swings at the ball, and hopefully maybe knock in a couple home runs. That would be ideal for them, of course. That would be ideal for anyone, realistically. But Brevard really going to try to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, if you're Brevard College, you certainly have some confidence after those last 2 innings. Even though you didn't score there, you did connect a lot with some pitches, and your confidence must be really high also after that last defensive stand.
Definitely.
And Kennedy Fennell, the freshman from Travelers Rest, South Carolina, will remain in the circle for the Tornadoes, as she's seen quite a bit of success after coming in. She's the 3rd pitcher in the circle for the Tornadoes today.
Yeah, she's played great so far. Great pitching. She's been able to get a couple strikeouts, which is huge for Brevard College because they struggled with that early on in the game.
Kayla Autry at the plate for the Knights. She made a nice outfield grab in the top of the 6th. Second delivery is swung on, and a strike for Kennedy Fennell. Make the count 1-2.
Yeah, that looked like it was a little slider right to the outside of the strike zone, just outside, but it got Kayla to swing at it, so beautiful pitch.
That went a little high to the right for Fennell. 2-2 the count. Both dugouts into it. Kendall's next delivery is low.
Full count.
as she is trying to tag all sorts of places in the strike zone this at bat. And that's my mistake. That's Sydney Stesko at bat for the Knights, number 1. The freshman from North Bend, Washington. Swinging on that next pitch up high.
Yeah, I got Cindy on that riser right there. It looked like it was coming low, and it took a late, like, little up twirl. Got her to swing at that.
As Sydney certainly wanted to step into that one. That one's low. Good patience by Sydney, and she'll advance to first base on the walk.
Good, very good
Now
discipline
batting
by
for the
Sydney
Knights,
right
number
there.
7, Cadence Van Digner.
They're kind of getting a feeling of the Brevard pitcher right now, understanding that she kind of likes everywhere in the zone, and she doesn't really have a consistent spot, and so Sydney allowed herself to kind of understand that this pitch has a very good chance of being outside.
And just as you said, Nate, Fennell's been quite unpredictable today, which seems to have led to her success against the Knights batters. As Cadence Van Dyvener's up to bat for the Knights. She fouled that first one, 0-1 the count. Second delivery, nice and straight, but just over the strike zone, make it 1-1. That one's high, and they're looking to first base for Sydney Stesko, but she stays close enough to prevent the throw from happening.
Yeah, that right there is just a little check to make sure, keep the runner on first base, you know, in check, make sure they're aware of the potential of her stealing.
Big swing by Cadence, and they're gonna try and get the runner at first, Sydney Stesko, but she's gonna make it back in time. So a good throw to first, but Sydney able to be quick enough to first. Good patience by Cadence on that one. As she and Finn are locked in a battle, make it a full count.
Seeing a lot of these full count battles late in this game right now.
Big swing again, that's to the right of the outfield line for another foul ball. 3-2 still to count, with Sydney Stesko on base for the Knights at first. That one's high, and another walk. That's 2 consecutive walks for the Knights from Fennell. And they'll now have Sydney Stesko on second base and Cadence Van Dyvener on first.
Yeah. Now Sydney in scoring position. Putting pressure on Brevard College right now. They are starting to notice that maybe the pitcher's getting a little bit tired. So on the full count, they notice it starts to hang a little bit outside and allow them to get a free base.
As Kennedy Fennell's pitch count now goes to 43. She's seen a lot of work since the second or third inning today. And they're gonna go out to have a talk in the circle with her. As Millie Davis up to bat for the Knights. She ended the top of the 6th with a nice looking strikeout.
So the Knights definitely right now are going to try to add on a few more runs just to make that lead a little more comfortable going into the top of the 7th, to risk the chance of Brevard College forcing it to go bottom 7th and, you know, tying it up or taking the lead.
And with 0 outs in the bottom of the 6th, they are 3 runs away from the Mercy rule, as we mentioned earlier, as it stands at 9-4. Obviously, Brevard with lots of momentum on the defensive side of things and batting, which has caused this game to go from 9-0 to 9-4 in the last couple of innings. Good patience by Malia Davis for 2 balls and 0 strikes so far. Next delivery, big hit by Malia Davis into the outfield. That's going to be a good catch by number 5, Beth Hyatt, but Sydney Stesko will be able to advance to third base and put her in prime scoring position for the Knights.
Yep, now with 1 out, one player on third
Now
base.
batting for the Knights, number 14.
Knights definitely
Rose.
putting as much as they can on Brevard College, not making it easy for them.
Reagan Rose, the freshman from American Falls, Idaho, now up to bat for Southern Virginia. Nice looking strike into center field by Malia Davis.
Yeah, that
allowing Sydney to get the third.
Yeah, that was a good sacrifice fly by Malia Davis, allowing, just like you just said, allowing Sydney to get to third. Especially with only 1 out now in the top bottom of the 6th.
And that was really the first big connection for the Knights since the 4th inning. They've only scored in 3 innings so far, despite 9 runs. That came in the first 3 innings. But their offense have been stagnant ever since. Reagan Rose steps into that one, but that'll float over the bat. A strike for Kennedy Fennell.
Yeah, that looked like it was a good fastball, just right outside the zone. Got her to reach. Good pitch by her. That was just a beautiful pitch. Nothing to say about that.
Absolutely. Fennell lines up another one. Nice looking pitch and a good throw from the catcher to second. But Van Diverner's going to be safe at second. That's also going to bring Sydney Stesko to home plate to extend the lead to 10-4 for the Knights. Great play.
So you really like to see that by the Knights, because whether or not Cadence made it to second or not, the run was going home no matter what.
Exactly.
Allowing them to get another run on board, making it go 10-4 now.
Good point, Nate. That was certainly intentional by Cadence to advance to second.
Yeah, 100%.
Good connection by Reagan Rose to right field. That's going to send Cadence to third base and Reagan to first. Great connection there. Love to see it from this part of the lineup for Southern Virginia, as that's 2 consecutive big plays by Southern Virginia to put Cadence into prime scoring position as well.
And you can tell Cadence wasn't sure if that was going to be caught out into right field.
Yeah.
Tagged up just to be safe and made it to third.
And that one floated just over the first base and in between the outfielder, number 24, Jasmine Webb. And that'll bring up number 18, Brooklyn Davis, to the plate for the Knights.
Yeah, those are the kind of plays you hate as an outfielder. A little bloop, you know,
Yeah.
you're not going to catch this, so you just have to play it, knowing they're probably going to get a, runner on third or even potentially home.
Big swing by Brooklyn. She gets just a piece of that. That'll bounce behind the plate for another foul ball. Reagan Rose at first base for the Knights. Cadence Van Diverner at third, with Brooklyn Davis at the plate for Southern Virginia. Big swing, and Fennell's able to sink that one past the bat for another strike. Make it 1-2 the count.
Yeah, that was a good breaking ball right there. I've noticed that this pitcher for Brevard able to get them to swing at those kind of breaking balls.
Good play on the infield by Brevard to get the out at first, but that will bring Cadence home and extend the lead to 11-4.
Now At the plate for the Knights, number 23, Barrett.
It's now number 23, Barrett Jessup, the senior, trying to chip in here with Reagan Rose on second base for the Knights. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. That's a good looking pitch inside by Fennell for a strike. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, so now with the runner in scoring position right now for the Knights, Brevard definitely cannot afford to give up any sort of run, because that will put them in danger of mercy rule.
Absolutely. And a bouncer into the infield. They'll throw it to first, and they're going to ground out Barrett Jessup at first. So a good defensive stand there by Brevard despite the adversity.
Yep, great job working their way out of that. Now here comes the top of the 7th. Brevard, this is it for Brevard College right here.
Yep. So here in the top of the 7th, if Southern Virginia prevents Brevard from tying it at 11, they can end game number 1 of this doubleheader here and send us into break before game number 2. So a bit of a shaky start from this new team of Knights that have subbed in halfway through this game, but they responded well. A great 6th inning.
Yeah, they had a rough start, you know, allowing 4 runs when they first came out, but ever since then, solid work from these young Knights.
Combination of good pitching from Malia Davis and Maddie Lloyd, along with clutch hitting from Reagan Rose and Sydney Stesko and Cadence Van Dyvener. They've been able to pad their lead in the bottom of the 6th to make it 11-4. As the wind just continues to pound us, but that has not affected the play of either the Tornadoes or the Knights so far.
No, definitely would have thought it would have taken a little bit more of an effect, but they've been adjusting really well to the wind. No home runs thus far, but maybe could have definitely seen some potential home runs if not due to the wind. But
yeah, a lot of big hits in the outfield by either team today, but nothing quite enough to go over the fence for home runs. So the top of the 7th inning, your Knights lead Brevard College 11-4. Malia Davis returning to the circle for her 2nd inning this afternoon. Barrett Jessup will remain behind the plate for the Knights.
Leading off the inning for the Tornadoes, number 5, Beth Hyatt.
Beth Hyatt, one of the best hitters on the Tornadoes this year, is up to bat for Brevard.
Yeah, let's see how Malia Davis is able to close out this game right here.
First delivery is wide, right, and low for ball 1. And Nate, what do you think are in the minds of both teams, both dugouts, knowing that this is the very end of game 1 that might be a little out of reach for Brevard, but what's their mindset going into game number 2?
Yeah, for Brevard at least, their mindset definitely has to be forget this game. You can't let this game linger in your minds. You know, it was a tough game. They've had one good inning, but going into the 2nd game, you kind of just, you know, definitely try to score as much as you can right here. But after that, it's all about the next game. You can't dwell on the past.
And a nice crack towards the left field for Beth Hyatt, but that's going to foul and return her to the plate. Good contact, but just a bit too far to the left.
And for the Knights going into the next game, you also can't really focus on the past because it's a new game. Anything can happen. And, you know, you may be feeling good about, you know, having a dominant game, but you can't let that linger in your mind as well. So there's both this winner and loser mentality that you kind of have to avoid if you want to perform well in the next game.
Absolutely. And that seems to be the theme for this Knights team this year. They're super resilient, and coming off a tough season last year, it's easy to lack a little bit of confidence coming into the year, but this has been a whole different team. Lots of returners from last year, but they've been super strong and consistent.
Definitely, definitely. The first game I commentated, the Knights lost the first game, and it was looking pretty tough. But the second game, they came out and won the game with ease. So we'll definitely see what kind of things Brevard and SVU can cook up in the next game.
And the Knights have shown that they can hang with just about any team in the country. Taking number 12 Pfeiffer yesterday to extra innings, then only losing by 2 in the second game of their doubleheader. They've shown strength in every aspect of the game this year. Pitching, fielding, batting. They've done super well, and the coaching staff, I know, is super proud of them as they'll continue here down the stretch run of the season. As Malia now locked in a full battle count with Beth Hyatt, who seems like she's been at base forever after that crack in the left field that fouled.
The sun comes back out.
Swinging Beth Hyatt on that pitch. Malia Davis, another strikeout. Make that 2 consecutive strikeouts for Malia Davis.
I love to see that from the freshman pitcher.
Now batting number 22, Gabby Hooper.
Gabby Hooper, who's been on base quite a bit this afternoon, is back up to the plate. She'll foul that one back to the fence behind home plate.
Yeah, Hooper has definitely been one of the more consistent batters for Brevard College. Able to consistently get on base, make solid contact, and kind of just performing well for the Tornadoes. See if she can continue it late in the top of the 7th.
Nice delivery from Malia Davis. Another strike on Hooper. That'll make the count 0-2. Malia Davis searching for her 3rd consecutive strikeout. She's been absolute dynamite since coming in the 6th inning.
Let's see what she decides to throw here.
Bit high on that one.
High riser right there. Let go a little bit late. Was maybe trying to get her to swing at a high pitch, just a little too high, and Hooper read that right out the hand.
Big strike into the infield. It's not going to leave the dirt, but Katie Claytor's going to get under that one and make the 2nd out. 1 out away from victory if you're Southern Virginia.
Now batting
Yeah,
number 14,
now the Knights are
Michaela
looking for
Morgan.
a 1-2-3 to end the game.
Michaela Morgan, another strong hitter for Brevard, has homered today. She now has 3 home runs on the season.
Yeah, it looks like it shakes the catcher up a little bit. She's all right.
The wind is just absolutely relentless right now. Southern Virginia 1 out away from ending game 1 of our doubleheader this afternoon against Brevard College. Malia Davis in the circle for the Knights. Another swing by Michaela Morgan. That's going to float left above the dugout of the Knights. And that'll make the count 0-2. That one one floats just under the strike zone to make it a 1-2 count for Malia Davis.
That was a beautiful sinker. Just couldn't quite get her to swing at it.
Malia Davis lining up her next pitch. Here's the delivery. Swung on by Michaela Morgan. That's going to float above the fence for another foul ball.
Yeah, so you definitely seen since Malia Davis has come in, she's settled down so much. You saw with her first inning, she was throwing so many high pitches, you know, letting it walk in right away. She's just completely been able to take control of the game.
High pitch and caught swinging is Michaela Morgan. Malia Davis, her third strikeout since coming in the 6th inning. Good looking pitch, and that'll be the end of the first game. The score being Southern Virginia Knights 11 and Brevard College 4. With that win at the beginning of our doubleheader, the Knights improved to 14-9 on the season, 2-3 in conference play, as Brevard falls to 4-13 on the year and 1-6 in conference play. And that'll conclude our first game of this doubleheader. We will be back in about 20 or 25 minutes for game number 2.